Samson and Delilah. It says in the scripture that Delilah is also from this valley of Zarek. It doesn't say what city she's from, so it's assumed that she was a country girl or from a small village. You can kind of sympathize when suddenly all the lords of the Philistines come, 5 major lords, come and they offer her all this wealth. You can see that the temptation was great. Archaeologists have recently found some Philistine temples. Sure enough, they are built on these 2 major pillars. But they're not quite like what we think. We picture Samson grabbing a hold of both pillars and pulling them in. In actuality, they say that he would have to reach his hands out both directions and he could touch both of them. So instead of pulling in, he was actually probably rocking back and forth, hitting both sides, and he brought it down that way. Well, this last 20 years, Jephthah and his 3 judges after him are keeping peace in the north. Samson's here in the south, and Samuel is teaching, bringing about a revival. By the way, people say that Samson is the last judge. No, he really wasn't. He was the last judge mentioned in the book of Judges. Abdon, up in the north, is still alive after all of these events happened. So he really is the last judge. Then after him, Samuel became a judge. Samuel talks to the people and says, okay, now it's time to make a decision. For 20 years we've been talking about this. If you want to serve God, I will dedicate you to Him. You put away your idols and we will pull together. Now we have 2 events. What happened to Samson and what happened to Samuel? Scholars hold that they happen near one another. I'm one of those who hold that they happen at the same time. It would go like this. The Philistine hear that there's this congregation of people meeting up north. They think it's a rebellion. So they decide to send the army to just to take care of it. But they all don't go. The leadership of the army stay with the leadership of the Philistines because there's this big party going to go on at the temple. And they've got Samson and they're going to make fun of him. So they send the army north to take care of that problem up there, and the rest of them stay south. Well, when they get to the north, and this is the Battle of Ebenezer, God fights against them, and again you read about this in 1 Samuel, fights against them, the people chase the Philistines and basically destroys them. At the same time, Samson brings down the temple and kills all of the leadership, not only of the army, but also of the people. So what you have the end of the Philistine rule over Israel. That's what it says in 1 Samuel. In Judges, it says that this rule lasted for 40 years. You have the 40 years, you have the 20 years of the apostasy and the 20 years of Samson. So with this double blow, this Samson killing the leadership, Samuel killing the army, it does away with the Philistine rule over Israel. This was a great success. And this starts another 20 years. 20 years where Samuel is now judge. It's a time of peace. The Philistines are not a bother anymore. They are trying to reorganize, and it takes them 20 years to do that. The Ammonites, that isn't a problem anymore either. He has a circuit where he continues to teach the people. He continues to build them up, getting them ready for the time of the kings. And that comes up later. Well, this is the end of the stories of Samson. We have a few more stories to deal with before we end the book of Judges. So come back. I'm going to give you more insights on the story.